Okay. See. Hello, everyone. Hello. Um, Hopefully you are all doing well this evening. I'm sorry for some of the delays. We've been having myself and my co-host in this have been having some technical issues, and it's been being a problem. So I'm very sorry for all of that. Maurice, thank you for the lurk. Irabu, hello, how's my darling dad doing? It's good to see you. Irabu, no, bad. You should be getting sleep. You should absolutely be getting sleep. Um, but I still welcome you here nonetheless. Hopefully between myself and Cradler, we will end up putting you to bed. I think that's my personal goal now, is to put you to bed. Um, how are you doing otherwise, though, Irabu? No bed for you. Everything sleeps, darling. It's just a question of whether they go peacefully to that good night or not. Yeah. So tonight, the World Forge is absolutely still on as planned, by the way. Last week we took a look at Eden, which was Crazy's world, and came up with a core idea for the Shroud. Tonight, we are going to be poking at my world, which is Aido. 30 minutes. I wish I could only sleep for 30 minutes. Man, 30 minutes in a day, that's a mood. Back when I was a nymph, I could get away with that. But now I'm older and reportedly wiser, and distinctly more tireder. So that is not something I can do anymore. Yeah, I miss that. I miss that. I'm actually, well, it's complicated. There was a time in which I feel like I got better sleep in bed. Like I got less of it, but I felt like I got more rest then, if you know what I mean. I don't feel like I get as much rest these days as I used to. What? I did not. Well, of course not. It's a chicken and you're bats, presumably, unless your mom had a very, very curious surrogacy, which I'd kind of be interested in hearing about. But I'm sorry one of your chickens is stuck, legitimately. Getting any kind of domestic animals stuck in the tree is a problem. It's a real nightmare scenario. Part of me is very tempted to try and just like nothing but crinkle ASMR sounds until the problem gets resolved. So yeah, you get your video posted. I guess I'll try and give an overview while I have some time. So this is my last broadcast. until Sunday. Probably my last podcast until Sunday. There may be a sneaky thing on Friday or Saturday, depending. But Sunday we're gonna go back to the darkest dungeon, which I'm looking forward to. Yee, it's posted. Thank you, Irabu. That's kind of amazing, I guess. Well, peafowl, or as you call them, chickens, they're actually pretty well known for being jungle birds. So, like, it's almost a surprise that they want to go and climb trees. That's how you get away from some of the predators, right? I guess I'm gonna try and use. I'll try and use this opportunity, I think, to give some information, impart some knowledge about Aido. We'll see, it knows you're a predator. I can see that being a bit offensive. So I guess we'll transition over. And for the time being, we are. That's awesome. I understand. We will have some discussions about Aido. It's a strange system, darlings. It's doing a weird thing. You a tabletop person? Because if you are, Irabu, then tonight is a good night for you. Alright. Let us go. Okay. Well, thank you, Irabu. Okay, let's head on over, and I'll try to explain some of this stuff. Alright. Here we are. So this is the part that I call abusing Pathfinder 2. No one tell Mode about this. Okay. So take a look at this stuff we have. Let's go to 10 point. Yeah, there we go. There we go, okay. So, let's talk a little bit about all of this nonsense. Okay. So Aido's a bit different, and I may have to go over this all over again. We will figure it out. Let's see. The scores and saves. And you're probably thinking, well, this is basically the sorcerer. And the answer is yes and no. So the problem with building scores is that you have income. Yeah, 2, 8. You have 6. And you have 9. There we go. You have the usual strength. Wait, G, T, H. Yeah. I'm not dyslexic, be quiet. Yes. Strength, dexterity. Constitution. Intelligence. Perception. Wisdom. Charisma. Empathy. And appearance. There we go. Those are in 9, roughly in 3 different categories. The saves as well are a little bit different. This is kind of important to know. Fortitude and reflex. Fortitude and reflex remain the same. Will is replaced by cohesion. And there's a new one for discipline. So this is kind of the framework we're dealing with. Most other stuff is relatively similar. The skills are different as well, which I'm not going to try and get into all of that right now. But we will look at that in a little bit. It would come up. So the idea behind this sorcerer is going to be a little bit different, but yeah. I'm sorry everyone, I'm a bit rudderless without things happening right now. So I'm actually legit. I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. So I'm going to let me see about redrawing an old thing while I wait for them. I know this isn't what was like initially planned, but they're having some severe issues on their side. I will be right back. We'll figure this out. Okay, and we are back. We are back, and things are finally working properly. Everyone, please say hello to Cradler, who's in this Crazy Toddler. Yeah, it's many technical issues, but I have you, and you're actually like, yep, we're online. I'm back in a different form. We can do all of this. Okay. I had been doing probably the worst intro to like Aido I could have, or like the differences that are in it that I could possibly have done. Okay, so I don't know if you have any idea of the PF2 like system. It's very D&D. That's amazing. I did not know that. Okay. So yeah. So basically take take the D&D ability scores, right? And for Aido, there's 9 of them. There's strength, dexterity, con, intelligence, perception, wisdom, charisma, empathy, and appearance. And there's 4 saves instead of 3. Fortitude and reflex are the same. Cohesion kind of replaces will. And there's discipline, which is typically more socially orientated. And that's kind of the basics of the system. And tonight we're dealing with Achaki sorcerers. And Achaki is basically the magic of the bloom. It's kind of like chaos energy, I guess, is a good way to think of it. I hadn't figured out like any kind of aesthetic to use for them. I was debating like maybe something Thai, but it's aesthetically it's very Afrocentric. Um, so the bloom is this like phenomenon across the world. And it is it occurs predominantly under natural light, like most notably under the sun, under sunlight, but like it can appear under like unnatural light too, but it's much rarer. Um, and sorcerers, or like I like the idea that maybe sorcerers are just this thing. Sorcerers are like let me see if I can actually size this correctly this time. The sorcerers, the idea behind them is that they have internal sources of magic. Unlike like Pathfinder sorcerers, there's no bloodline there necessarily. It's just either something happened to them or they were born due to whatever effects happened earlier in like some kind of with some sort of connection to what they have. Um, I don't know if I'm doing a dude or not yet. But I want to try and do like more of like a pencil thing this time. So I'm gonna try that. We'll see how it goes. I don't know that it will necessarily go well, but won't know until we try. But yeah, I'm sure I've already sent some PF people screaming by now. Um, if Mode comes and checks in, like I dread to think what he'll think. Um, this is very kind of like a homebrew sort of thing. It could be you could make it work with PF2. I mean that's fine. That like that everything works, right? Um, I didn't necessarily like imagine. I don't even know what to think about it. Like, I don't like this particular dance at all. Uh, like I'm fine with like human, although human isn't like there aren't humans in Aido, which is the first bit. There's Goei, which are basically humans. They are the people of the earth. And some Goei look like if you're looking for a human, you're if you want to play a human, you're going to be playing a Goei. Um, are those the ones where it's like in like kind of like praying mantises a little bit? Uh, I I don't know at the moment. The heritages are still something that I'm like actively like working out. Well, there's the avians. They don't have a proper name yet, but they're kind of bug people. Sure, I'll try and do like an avian. Like I have an image of one actually. I'll see about sending it to you because I don't know that it is completely safe since I think it's just like I think it's like a nude, but like it's like a Barbie doll kind of nude. Yeah, no, okay. So we can do that. Um oh, thank you. Let me see, I got I have no idea where I put them anymore. That's oh, there it is. There it is. I found it's not a very good picture, but yeah, you could do a goatee. I wouldn't blame you for doing a goatee. I was thinking about doing a goatee, but maybe I'll try and do one. Like you can kind of see like what I was going with here, probably. Like I'm sure you could do it like way better than like I could do it. They're not that big either. They're like about 4 feet. If you're wanting to like the size of them. Um, okay, I'll try and do one as well. Um, they're gonna be in what word? A chalky. A chalky. It's a very fun word to say, at least to me. Uh, they don't. So in most places, sorcerers do not have like an order, right? There's not an what is my pencil? Okay, I'm sorry, pencil. Oops. Okay. Uh, they don't have a an order. In most places, so a chalky is the magic of the bloom, right? And frankly, people do not care for it at all. Um, because the bloom is kind of terrifying to most people. Usually, they are dressed kind of, I guess, however they can be. Um, uh, they're like I imagine they're probably most populous in like very hot regions, and that's because like in places like desert, there's not a lot of protection from bloom effects when they happen. And that can make it very easy for them to get. Yeah, like if you want like yeah, I think I don't know, like maybe something Kenyan inspired. I wasn't sure. Um, it's so the only big thing. What? Oh, we're absolutely gonna wing it. I'm gonna talk. Um, I actually need that like reference myself, hilariously. Um, oh, I actually kind of like how this is coming together already. Um, um, but, uh, the only thing about it is that to make sure that I don't know if you've noticed, is that the whole idea is that it eschews. Aido completely eschews um, European fashion and aesthetics. Um, like I really want to. And I don't have any particular hatred of them, which is what someone asked me once. It's like I don't actually have hatred of those aesthetics. It's just that I feel like I have nothing to add or contribute to like what's already been done there, right? Yeah, and I wanted to try something. Oh, I can do that. I want to try something very different. Which is why that. Okay, I did okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to have more references. I can actually dump you some like references for like different aesthetics or like costumes if you want to take a look at them. Um, I don't imagine that there's particularly much um, physical dimorphism between between the avians. I imagined mostly that the females were larger. Yeah, well, it can be useful. Being larger gives you more body mass to work with, more endurance in certain ways. A lot of, and if you're going to be the thing that like creates and then guards the eggs, if part of your duties involve being guard dog, then it makes sense to be the larger one, if you can afford to be. Um, like Ido owes a lot to aesthetically. I wanted to she was much Western and like especially like Western medieval influence possible, like Western medieval like European influence. Because I felt like it was interesting to branch out to other things. Like I want to root the ethos, the myth, the legends, the aesthetics in like in the aesthetics of like Africa, Pacifica, and North and South America. That's like a rough order of priority. I think so far it's turning out to be fairly Afrocentric. Um, because it's not explored in fantasy enough. And like I feel like there's a lot there that um could be explored that is not. Um, uh, they have like some wonderful myths like the hook vampires. Have you heard this myth? Did I lose you, Kramer? Oh, okay. I might have. I said they have wonderful. They have some wonderful. Spaceland Crater? Why is your audio has not been coming through. No, your audio hasn't been coming through. Hang on. Every time with this is getting really obnoxious. It's not you, it's like the Discord server. There we go. So OBS like tries to look for Discord windows and it doesn't necessarily copy it all over always correctly. So there we go.
Yay.
I'm so sorry, Cradler.
Fine.
But they have these hook vampires. And what they are, these are vampiric creatures that have metal hooks for legs. And they hang upside down in forests from trees. And when you pass underneath them, they smell the blood inside you and drop down to feed on you.
Okay, that's really fun though.
Right? Like, that's fantastic. It's like, and this is nowhere is like a campaign like set in this or anything like that, or using this to the full extent that it should be. So I'm like,
gonna use them now.
Like, I guess I'm gonna do it, right?
Gonna have to look up these things later for, you know, reference.
Oh yeah. Like they have these tiny reptilian shape-shifting dwarves that's supposed to have like incredibly attractive figures. It's like there's so much there. Same with like Pacifica. Do what? Hello, Morphe. How are you doing? I'm sorry I did not get to see you earlier today. I have been passed out sick most of today. How are you doing? I will explain. Are you talking about the shape-shifting dwarves or the or the hook vampires? So hook feet vampires are like vampires. They look like men, and they have they have metal hooks where their feet should be, and they use them to hang upside down from trees in the forest. And when you pass underneath them, they're asleep, but they can smell the blood in your flesh, and they drop on you and bite your neck, and they tackle you to the ground, suck your blood, and then spring back up into the trees, leaving you feeling weak and enfeebled. Kind of like a drop bear, yes.
Drop bear.
Which is one of the greatest myths ever. Kind of like a drop bear. And the other one are they're these small reptilian dwarf people who can shapeshift, who apparently are supposed to look like really appealing. They have great looking figures. They just have very great figures. I think the term used is actually like robust.
Interesting. Probably.
And what we're drawing now is we're actually both drawing a I don't have a proper name for them. Their current development name is, I think they might actually just be the Avians, and they are like, I guess, bug people from Aido. Aido, which is a homebrew setting and world that I'm currently working on. It's nominally set in in like it's nominally 2E compatible. I had a talk about like what worked mechanically and stuff earlier. But oh, Cradler, I love how yours is coming together. It's phenomenal.
I'm just kind of. I know this is like a boring side view, but I'm just kind of exploring the shape of this being.
No, I love it. Avians are these strange insectoid creatures that exist in a number of different places. And we're doing an interpretation of the sorcerer class. They are users of Achaki, which is magic that comes from the bloom. The bloom is a phenomenon that goes across the entire world of Aido. And it
So do all their limbs make that Z shape?
yeah, they all do, because I wanted them to the arms the arms have much more truncated like middle parts from adaptation. Their upper arms, but yeah. The bloom is a phenomenon that goes all across Aido. It appears most strongly in natural light, especially the sunlight. But it can appear under any light, and it occurs in the presence of anything that sapient. It occurs most frequently in the presence of things that sapient life has made, I guess. And what it does is it can burn you, it can harm you, and most importantly, it can, thank you for the posture check. I actually super need that. I was, what's the opposite of shrimp? Like, where you start, like, slouching down and, like, curving almost the other way?
Oh... There's probably a name for it, but I'm just thinking of, like, sway-backed horses where their spine is just U-shaped.
Yeah.
You became an inverted shrimp.
I kind of became an inverted shrimp. Panda's not some shrimp! Oh my goodness! Shrimp! I will take shrimp. Also, Mutt, how are you doing tonight, darling? It's great to see you again. The bloom can open. It's most dangerous because it can open ways into the outside, which is not the same thing as like other planes or other worlds. No one knows what the outside is or where it goes to. And the things that live in the outside are not really it's wrong to say they're hostile, but they do not coexist nicely with anything in Aido. So I did not play Jackbox Mutt, and I feel like perhaps my evening is lesser for it. So I'm glad you got to play Jackbox. Jackbox is really quite cool. I should see sometime like later on when maybe I have more hivelings and more experiences from my encounters. I should see about doing that, getting that. The life from the outside, some of it can be, but it's along. That's not necessarily along the right line. I will explain. I also don't know that I like the idea of them having ears like that, if that should be like another head decoration.
Oh, the ears of the reference?
Yeah, Cradler, I want you to know that. But feel free to get like creative with something in like that, like rough shape. Territorial is exactly the wrong way to think about it. Mothy. It's a lot. It's a lot more inherent, where it's like their existence disturbs the fabric of reality. Like there's one of them, and I need to like do artwork of it and like make a stat block where it doesn't actually want to hurt anyone necessarily. It just travels, but where it moves, it starts to reverse the flow of liquid, and that includes anything, and that includes things like the sap and nutrient flow of plants. That includes like rivers. That includes when rain falls from the sky. That includes the blood inside your circulatory system. So it's that's just something that happens in like a radius of several deca feet around it, and like it can't turn that off or on. So it's immensely disruptive. And oh, I'm sorry you didn't win. Well, you're still a winner in my book. What's that? I think I like this pose. I actually think I really like this pose. I love how you're doing their legs, Cradler.
I'm just kind of like
It's so good.
interpreting.
No,
the
please, please do. Yeah, I can only imagine you'd feel immensely disrupted if your blood just started to flow backwards inside you. Yes.
Ugh. I just thought about the like sensation that would be. You'd be like, ugh.
Oh, it would have to be it would have to be absolutely awful. And and so there are a lot like that. There's another one that loves and adores you and wants to taste you. It has like this tongue that splits apart into tiny filaments, and it wants to hug you with it. And the problem is that it becomes entangled in the membranes of your cells. So it's fine as long as you don't want to move anywhere or possibly disturb that process. And all it is really trying to do is just to be affectionate with you.
Oh, just wants to be friend.
Yeah, it just wants to be friend. It just wants to be friend. And the things from the outside, sometimes also called bloom creatures, are very much of this kind of cant. They're, they are, most of them are not trying to hurt you. Most of them are just existing, but wherever they come from, like whatever rules of existence they have and use, it is fundamentally non-compatible with the way that we exist. And that's just an unfortunate part of what they do and how they are. They are exactly from different places, Mothy. There are the other worlds, and the other worlds are different to Aido. but they work in ways that are understandable, more or less, to people from Aido. And then you have things from the outside, which are very much not. Also, you see, I like the idea of this. Yeah. So, and sorcerers, in Aido, are people who tap into the energies of the bloom. There are other kinds of sorcerers, technically. There are other spellcasters like sorcerers, but I think I like the idea that sorcery itself is just tapping into the energies of the bloom. It is a practice called achaki. Um, um, and they are, in most cultures, very well despised. Like, no one likes them.
Why nobody liked it?
Well, because they use a chalky, actually.
They kind of are they like the Thorn folk, and they're like, "How dare you use this ability?"
Well, it's very obvious because the bloom is like this shimmering, prismatic glow. If you could condense a rainbow into fire, or like grind up pearls into it, like it's got that kind of feel to it, and it's like it's very difficult to mistake it for anything else. No, the two window ballers seem very much different, like they're both in different places from each other. That's entirely possible. Uh, that's entirely possible. It's possible to travel to other places through the bloom, but you never want to do that if you can help it. You won't know where you're going, and it probably won't be very good for you.
Used instant travel, but have no idea where we're landing.
Yes. The people we are drawing are known as the avians. I know still very much a work in progress, and as a work in progress, it has terms that I haven't like settled on what the proper term is for it, right? I don't know if avians are going to have a proper term for them, like, or everyone just calls them the avians. But they are a series of species. They are what Pathfinder 2E calls a ancestry with several different heritages. That that no one knows where they came from, and doesn't seem to have any other relatives other than each other than the different kinds of avians. They are relatively small. They're like about 4 to 5 feet, and I'm talking in feet tonight because Pathfinder uses imperial units as a standard.
I'll get them imperial units.
Yes, gotta get the imperial units. And and they, depending on type, of course, and they do come in different sexes, but they're very hard to tell apart physically. Other than the females are larger than the males, they have relatively normative mindsets and brain chemistry. Um, but they're generally not liked in a lot of places because a lot of people find 4 foot tall insectoid creatures a bit uncomfortable. Especially when they look like they have lips, but that's like, it's a mask. Their face like opens.
Oh, I like that.
It's just designed to fit in better. As far as anyone can tell.
Face opens. I like that.
Just like you, just like you when you leave the house. I don't know where I'll end up when I travel. But that is absolutely relatable. I absolutely entirely understand that. Thank you, Monty. I'm glad you approve. It's it's something that I've had like a lot of. I have a lot of fun with Aido. The point of Aido is that I want to make a fantasy world that I just really loved. And I'd like to. I feel like I have to keep saying this because some people seem to get the wrong impression. Like, I don't hate like classic D&D style fantasies, right? But the kind of fantasy worlds that always like captured my imagination were not those. The kind of fantasy worlds that always captured my imagination were things like Myst, things like the latter day Final Fantasies, like 7, 8, 10, 12, and 13 to be specific. Things like Shadowrun. If you've never heard of Shadowrun, you should absolutely try Shadowrun. Uh, uh, Dune was a big influence on. I know Dune's kind of science fiction. Dune, Command and Conquer, the His Dark Materials trilogy, and Numenera are all like things that I take like as inspirations, the kind of fantasy that I find myself really drawn to. But yeah, they are. I loved how much you loved like the fact that they are. Do you see now why I was so interested in seeing how you drew them, Cradler?
I just speaks to my love of creatures and things with any slight eldritch leanings.
Yeah, and for sorcerers, as they can, if they continue in like the path of Achaki, if they can, Achaki users in general, they continue down it, they start to adopt some features of like the outside. It might not be a part of them, it might just be a suggestion or shapes that are in the air behind them or the sounds of faint noises near them. Which is like, so that's kind of what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
I'm doing something that's based in both I think some peonies costumes as well as in some Thai costumes for my little outfit.
I'll figure out an outfit when I get there. I'm still exploring the shapes.
I know, it's fantastic to watch them. If I don't put the outfit on now, like I want it to be like obvious that there's going to be like clothing on there just for like TOS's sake, right? Just for TOS's sake.
Mine might be a little buggy enough that US might not care.
I think yours is okay. There's no like
lean it into the bug.
Yeah, there's no tits, no visible genitals, nothing like that. Like, I think if you would do me a favor, and just like indicate like even like a color, like a little sketch line somewhere around like the lower abdomen, it's like yes, they will have some kind of clothing around their hips.
Yeah.
Like, just to be on the super safe side, I'd appreciate that. But that's
Look.
like,
I got it. Or something.
because that's why, because I'm not ready to do the outfit yet, right?
No, we're okay. We got it.
Yeah, just anything that says like, "Hey, Twitch, TOS." There's no naughty bits here. Even though apparently today Lewd Tuber was the top trending VTuber tag.
YouTuber.
I don't understand Lewd Tubers. Like, okay, let me clarify. Literally, I don't get what the difference between like a Lewd Tuber is and a normal VTuber. But it's also because I don't think I understand how to like how you even do that. Oh, I like it at 15. That's nice. Um, yeah, that's a-okay. That is
Here we
plenty.
go, Twitch.
There you go, Twitch. We are being good little streamers today. But
Yes.
like I actually want to do something where like you can see like shapes in the air like around and behind him. I guess him. I'll talk more about the class in a minute. I'm going with a Crater. That face. Look, that face keeps coming back.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
Gotta have that placeholder face.
Yeah, I do it, but I feel like I'm stealing from you.
Dude, I'm whatever, but that's the little face.
Okay, I'll go do the face. I'll go do the face. I'll go do the face.
Just a sassy little placeholder face.
I think I put more work into that than I have into some of my like actual faces now. Oh, that's great. Okay. But yeah, so I'm going, I think, I'm going with like a basic, like relatively standard avian. Most of them cannot fly for particularly extended periods. They can fly for a while.
They flutter.
Yeah. I don't know if, I guess, like, for those of you who are joining me on this encounter tonight, like, how much do you want me to talk about, like, the lore of this stuff? Because I have, like, answers for it. I just don't know if I should, like, how much should I be sharing? Because I can go in depth if people want me to. Cradler, you also get, like, a say in this.
I mean, my retention for anything
Oh,
is
retention doesn't matter. It's what do you want to hear?
I always enjoy hearing friends' lores.
Okay. So the avians are from a previous age. Aido is a world whose chronology is separated into ages. And each age can be thought of as like kind of like a very different period of time where there are different dominant civilizations that had different kinds of technology and different aesthetics and different approaches to the world. Where Aido's set is in the 14th age. Ages come to an end when one of the dragons completes its mission and the world then ends. Basically. There are two types of dragons. There are dragons that are not actual proper dragons, and then there are proper dragons. And if a proper dragon actually completes like what it's trying to do, the world ends.
The world is the dragon's sandbox.
Well, kind of, and they're taken out of like one of them is like out of myth. I can't remember their name, but what they do is they jump the. This is the legend. This is like the actual legend from like your planet, right? A dragon. There used to be 7 moons, one for every day of the week, and a dragon used to oh no. Oh no, that's on the wrong layer.
Oh no.
Okay, that's fine. I can fix this. I can fix this. I hope. I need the selection
Believe in
button.
you. You can do it.
But the dragons, there used to be a moon for every day of the week. Um, and every month, the dragon would leap up and swallow the moon, and it would swallow the moon so that it could, and it would be like swollen with it, and you could see the light of it under the ocean at night, and eventually it would lay like eggs of its children, and they had to stop it because if it ate all 7 moons, the world would end. And that was just always like immensely cool to me. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, I fix. And so that's kind of the function of dragons in Aido, true dragons. They do not necessarily look very draconic, but they are dragons by function, not by form.
I can kind of vibe with that because, like, was it Monster Hunter? Like, just about everything is a wyvern, but it's not necessarily what you would consider
right?
wyvern normally.
Yeah, it's a lot like that. Oh, I really like how you're doing it.
I was gonna say,
You'd like to eat the moon one day?
You can tell me to change stuff.
No, I kind of like it. That's not how I was gonna do it. I was gonna make it like don't undo it. Like I was going to do it so like how it kind of looks like a mouth. Like I was gonna make it so like it looked like they had like lips, but then like it could open up, right? That was the way I was gonna go with it. But don't change what you're doing.
It's like I haven't like I'll do the like little click on the reference so it opens up a little bit bigger, so I haven't actually opened it to full size to like properly see the mouth, so I'm just kind of guessing.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely fine. Take your time. And yeah, I feel like if the moon was like a round, warm globe, I'd love to eat the moon one day. Like just feel it gently radiating heat from inside me. I feel like it'd be like having a hug, but from the inside. Hopefully I understand why this thing ate the moon. Thank you, Mutt. You've opened my eyes. I now have a new goal in life, which is to eat the moon. But the avians were made in a previous age. They are from a previous age, and they are not natural entities. They were designed to be small arms fire I need a different size for you.
I have to let the doggo go potty, so I will be right back.
All right. I will see you soon. They were designed to be small arms fire resistant individuals used in a particular civilization's military. Ultimately, that civilization fell, as all things do when the world ends. And now the avians are mostly running free. Most avians have, it's been thousands of years since then, and most avians do not have a strong concept of where they came from at this point in time. Many of them live as best they can day to day. Many of them often gravitate towards the large cities that are built on the ruins of, I want to say it's the Third Age? I think it's the Third Age. Where they feel at home in accordance with some of their programmed instincts, but otherwise, they are much the same as any other sapient life form. They eat, they laugh. The biggest thing about them is that, they are typically, less sexually active or engaged, I guess, than say Goe are. That's like Goe is a category that humans fall under. The ones who they tend to have distinctive like periods for breeding. And outside of that, it's not much of a concern for most of them, unless that's part of what they're designed for. Iravu, welcome back, darling. I'm so sorry to hear your crocheting has failed. Hang on, I need to save this. So we're gonna do glasses. Well, I might be into tuning into it sometime. Okay, come on. Glasses, there we go. And a chalky sorcerer. There we go. Let that be saved. Alright. But that is roughly, what's that I'm looking for? Avians in a nutshell. As for the class itself, I'm gonna wait a little bit to start getting into it, but usually most sorcerers were people who were either carried, like inside their mothers, or whose eggs were left, usually like too close to bloom events. Some of them become sorcerers later in life, however. Through exposure to a bloom event. there isn't, for those of you, there isn't like an arcane magic or like divine magic thing in this world. There are the 9 magics, and that is where they start and end. Achaki is one of them. Many sorcerers who practice Achaki do not make it, and by do not make it, I mean that they do not survive. Whether that is through the efforts of other people or due to themselves ending up causing damage is up to themselves. So, hey, welcome back. Hello?
Hi.
Yay, welcome back, Cradler.
Yay.
I was starting to go into some of the sorcery stuff.
Sorcery.
Yeah. And how Achaki works. It's really fun to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, so in the, where do I begin with this? Achaki as a kind of magic is not stable. Many people will try, and you can learn spells with Achaki. Achaki, in theory, Achaki goes in the sense that you have like a goal in mind, and you figure out how to do it through creating like a spell of your own, or you arrive at it, right? Like through a standard spell kind of thing. I'm actually working on like making spell crafting a little bit easier and better. I kind of want Achaki people to use that a bit more than other people. But in the meantime, like they can absolutely use like standard spell lists. Or spell lists. I guess I'd have to come up with them, unfortunately. But it's similar to, I guess, the idea of wild magic, where your spell keywords will determine like what kind of bad thing might be able to happen in addition to normal things. Is the current action. But like when you try and use a spell, like use magic, it can absolutely detonate in your face. And this is part of why Achaki casters aren't liked, is because when it detonates in their faces, like the worst case scenario can be that they cause a bloom event. And that could be a problem, say if they do that near a city or a village.
Yeah.
And this is why they're not well loved by most people. Most people who practice Achaki are considered like evil madmen kind of characters. Whether they are or not, whether that's like fair or not, it's very much a something that is believed about them. Because why else? Why would you bring this into the world otherwise?
Yeah.
More commonly, though, and Ichaki is interesting, there's no intelligent targeting in Ichaki, which is one of the other reasons they're considered, like, evil frequently. Like, if you throw a fireball, you need to be certain that you're not going to hit someone you don't care about. You care about. Because it cannot be controlled.
Yeah. Do all their arms have 3 digits?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
all of them have 3 digits.
Okay. I wanted to make sure.
Like, in recompense for part of this, though, Ichaki casters often have more oomph behind them, I guess is the term I'm going to use. Like, they tend to hit harder and hit stronger. In mechanical terms, there's a couple different options they have for this, but every few levels, they're allowed to either, like, add damage to their spells, like, or make the saves harder, or things like that. As a sorcerer, I don't know if I'm going to reincorporate the bloodline things. Maybe it's interesting. Maybe it'd be interesting if, like, you had different manifestations of the outside for different kinds of sorcerers. I could get into that. And that would also allow them to be used for both Achaki and Kedia and Nganeo. These are all, like, other kinds of magic. That some of which I definitely wanted to be able to have sorcerers. I think I'm kind of doing, like, the Cradler thing and doing it all in one layer tonight. Oh, poor thing had to be ARP again. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I actually have, I might want to, and this might be a little bit controversial or something, increase their hit dice ever so slightly, like move them from, like, a d6 to a d8, given that one of the things about Achaki is that I wanted it to dip into your HP pool a little bit as well. Where it could be this idea in Achaki of where when you use magic, it can burn you. And I really wanted that to be done through hit point damage. To themselves, or possibly to others. They can also benefit from bloom events in weird ways. It can make their magic stronger or more potent, which means that some of them absolutely do the whole, like, I'm an evil maniac thing, and those can be very dangerous. Those can be very, very dangerous. Most of them, though, are honestly people just trying to cope with the strange fate that has been pushed upon them. You know, like you do. In this case, even though avians are capable of, some avians are capable of flight, that's not what this one is doing in this case. The idea that they are spinning themselves using energy. I don't have 3 on this side, because why not? I want them magically. I think one of the biggest things about them is that I want them to like feel probably more strange and goopy than fireballs. I don't think I'd let them have fireball. I'd probably let them have more things, like Finger of Death, maybe, or like necrotic bolts, or witch bolts if you know D&D. I think there's also Chaos Bolt, which is definitely like in keeping with them. I'd love to give them more spells that did weird things with numbers and similar.
I apologize.
It's okay. All alright?
Yeah. First one was the doggo, second one was medication related.
Okay. Power word, shit your pants. Yeah, absolutely. I would if I were to make a power word spell for them, it would be like power word chaos, where it's like literally you roll 2 dice of the exact same dice, and like that connects to a table and tells you what happens. And if you roll doubles, a weird happens.
Weird.
Sorcerers would have really actually, like, unlike standard sorcerers, I'd actually want sorcerers and Aido to have really bad cohesion saves. Cohesion is what Aido has instead of will saving throws, basically. I do hope like mode comes by at some point. I'm so curious to like
Yeah.
to get his reaction to all the mechanics. Do you want me to see if he'll come by afterwards?
Moth, go poke him.
Moth, you have been gently asked to poke mode if you are amenable. See if he'll swing by just so we can get his reaction to all of the mechanical nonsense. He is stramming now. Okay. We will let him stram.
We'll let him stram.
He should stram.
Yeah, I know he said he does the
Throwback
the
Thursdays.
throwbacks. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But that's okay, you know what? The evening is still young.
It's still very young.
Still very young. And he may come by and then we
Yeah.
can
Yeah, we've only been at this like an hour and a half, so it's about an hour of actual drawing.
as slow as I've been, I think
Oh,
this
that's
is
beautiful.
pretty decent.
Can I get a zoom out from you?
Yeah.
Oh, they're great. He, she, I don't know.
Whichever.
Whichever, they are whichever.
Or whichever. I've just been exploring limbs
Oh, it's
and having
great.
fun exploring the limbs. I was like, I don't know, I
don't know if
like
you
they
can...
bend these ways, and we'll see if they shape these ways, and...
Yeah. I'm gonna pull back of mine so they can both be, like, seen together.
Yes.
I don't know if you
Get
can
yours
see
on my
them.
phone.
Okay. I'll say I can send you a screen grab or something. I've been trying to like up the ante with like the pencil stuff
Oh,
this
yours looks
time.
so cool.
Thank you. It's so back to the far gone year 2021 with Monster Hunter Rise. What? That's insane. That I mean that's definitely a throwback. Throwbacks very far. Thank you. I'm glad you think it so much. I'm really keen to see where this goes. I don't know that I'll actually get colors down tonight with how I'm moving, but
You know
it's
what?
worth
That's fine.
it.
It
Yeah.
looks so cool.
Like, I was really inspired by how well you were doing, and I'm really trying to like art plus plus, as they say.
I'm doing like the most boring side thing. You're doing this cool ass floaty thing. That's awesome.
I almost didn't. Like I almost couldn't. Like I almost couldn't like figure out how to like start it and everything. It's like I lucked out and like suddenly one of the poses I did like worked. It's like, oh thank goodness for this.
I think that looks awesome.
Thank you, Cradler. I love yours too. Like those like stalking legs, just holy crap, I love it.
Yes.
Like, and this is why I really want to see like how you take them, because like I had an idea of them being like kind of bouncy hoppy, but you've gone to like this very like it feels very mantis stalker predatory kind of thing.
I don't know. I like the little scuddly boy.
I'm feeling it. I can vibe with that.
They can do a skitter jump.
Oh yeah. I want to have that be like a heritage. I'm gonna pull back in because I need to have a hard time seeing from far out. And like this is actually the world that I want to run games in on stream. It's gonna take a lot of work for me to get there. Like more work than I think I was anticipating. But I actually do like
you'll get there.
I think so too.
Like listen to how much lore you've got. Got a lot. It's good.
Yay. I got so much lore. I'm ready with all the lore stuff.
Like my thing, most of the lore I'm gonna give you is gonna be inside of that one metropolis, and then a couple of other dots around that island, and then there's gonna be one obscure place way up north that I haven't fleshed out nearly enough.
It's funny, is because I actually imagined like the avians most commonly in, because there's several big landmasses. They're on the southernmost one, but they're on like the northern end of the southernmost landmass, so they're almost like equatorial.
Nice.
And there's this great ruined, like layered third age megacity where it rains all the time. There's always rain clouds over it, and it's relatively safe there because of that. Because, there's no like light there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like where I imagine like so many of these come from. Like that area around there. But yeah, Mothy, I wanted to ask, did you finish Hypnospace? Do I need to go back and like watch that VOD to see it? Or am I gonna have a second chance to redeem myself? I've been meaning to ask that all stream, and it just now like occurred to me to ask. I also really want to do like a Firefly butt kind of thing.
Oh.
Like a heritage one of these, because I like fireflies. I shouldn't, but I like the idea of them maybe getting confused with the Odsei, which are also firefly-like. But the Odsei are not liked for various other reasons. It was not the ending you were expecting. I can't tell if that's good or bad. And it's like a new, I'm actually thinking, I have to check that because I don't remember what that is. Yeah, skill points conversion sheet. Okay. This is gonna be 7. That's better. I just look forward to playing it then. Um. See, starting. Proficiencies. Um. Let's see, I guess for saves, it's actually gonna be yeah, we'll do that first. Rather than that. Come on, go away. Saves are gonna be good. 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 Then bad would be reflex and cohesion. Yeah. Also, if anyone in this encounter has like lore questions or anything like that they want to ask me, go ahead, I will answer them. Otherwise, I will continue to talk about them and around them. But I like the idea. I almost kind of want them not to exactly have like proper spells as much as like here are some basic spells I can do. Here are some things I can do to them. Almost. Kind of feel. So I like the idea that they can invoke chaos as a decision, as well as it happening when they don't want it.
Yeah. Because that would be more chaotic, as it were.
Well, not just that, like the whole point of it is this wild, unstable, almost uncontrollable power.
They're tapping into it. They're not necessarily always actually channeling it.
It's definitely coursing. I think coursing through them is like the word I would use.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely coursing through them. Whether or not that's actually letting them do what they want is a different question. For Chalky, I feel like if I let sorcerers like tap into different kinds of energies, which I'm thinking I actually might after all, rather than having to be limited to oh, that's so good, Cradler. Those fingers are so good. Rather than them being limited to a Chalky, maybe let them have access to other forms of magic as well. Magic is differentiated by both spell lists as well as by different mechanics and the way it works. So there are some differences. Next time I do this, I need to get like an overlay. There's like a text overlay, like between us, with like the information about the class or the monster or that kind of thing.
And just blah.
I'll try and work on that for the future.
Then it'll just always be there.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, in the future it will be the Hive. I can clearly see that I'm gonna have to make sure to keep up with like the different ancestries. We're gonna have to do Goey sometimes.
Goey.
Yeah, Goey. Or the people of Earth.
Yeah.
They are like, if you look at yourself in a mirror, you're probably pretty close to a Goey. And some people like ask me, it's like, why did you rename humans? Why can't it just be humans?
So it probably wouldn't be called that.
And that's actually kind of why. Like, you hit kind of nail on the head. It's because, whilst I appreciate the idea of like language as like the idea of like the universal language, and it's a literary concept, right? Where you, because you speak English, like you pretend all languages are English, like in media, because like everyone knows that like in Faerun or whatever, they're not actually speaking English, right?
English. Yeah. Well, that's like my setting. Like, I don't necessarily know what to call the human likes, but they're probably wouldn't actually just be called human.
Right. So the question is,
yeah, definitely not speaking English.
Yeah. My question is, why can't you do that here? I once had someone actually ask me this. And what I told her, it's not Cradler, to be clear, it's not Cradler. What I told her was that the point of calling them Goey is because it sets up a theme and it brings you into the world more. Because linguistics have power. Right? Like, you associate certain kinds of sounds with certain things, and you associate the idea of human, just as a word, with, like, English. Right? So I wanted to move away from that. And I felt like it helped set up things better for the setting. No, not doing it like that. So that's what I've been doing with them. So that's why Goey. and Goey come in a number of different varieties. That I have noted down, but not like offhand somewhere. But most Goey are relatively standard Goey. There you go.
I must BRB again for the same reason. I apologize.
It's okay. Hopefully you're doing alright.
Yeah. It's just a cycle. It'll end eventually.
The vicious cycle.
Yes. I'll be right back.
Oh, that's so good. I can't wait to see her continue with that. And so that's why Goey, instead of having humans, basically. But in terms of, like, I don't know about in terms of appeal or instance, like appeal or culture, but at least in terms of, like, comforts and biology and things, most avians get along just fine with Goey. They can grasp. Their manipulators are a little bit more awkward than Goeys in some ways, less in others. But they can get by with lifting things and things like that. Let me go ahead and add this up. One thing of initial proficiencies. Okay. Let me see. I'll give you yeah, we'll say bloodline. We'll keep the sorcerer relatively the same. Bloodline. Yes. Bloodlines in Aido probably won't be called bloodlines, so they will be effectively the same thing. We have go back to this. And not all of them. Oh my goodness, Mode, thank you so much. How's it going, darling? Hopefully your own stream is going phenomenal. And, nice. Oh, I missed the something. Did it actually work? Did the little animation actually play? I wish I'd been paying attention. I want it to be. But thank you so much for the sub. How are things going on your end? Oh, nice. Yeah, we're in here revamping the sorcerer for Aido. Ah, very nice. Very nice. I hope you have a wonderful time. I really wanted to see that. I was so jelly of of Yuzu. Me and TV have been wanting to do something together because he's a really rad dude. Um, and like I want to, I need to do something with him in the future. But oh, thank you
Hey,
so
there's
much, Mode. Yeah, he is. He still be streaming, so we're not gonna. I'm not gonna be able to see if he'll explode at like what's happening with the sorcerer mechanically.
yeah.
Um, this week is Aido week.
This Aido week.
Oh, hang on. Save recovery information. That's probably good.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I'd set a campaign in Aido initially. Probably near that one, the always rainy city and the Great Desert, maybe. Uh, there's more than one Great Desert, but there is a Great Desert near there. And I would probably start out somewhere near there. Achaki is not appreciated there at all. Would you appreciate having them around? Like, you don't be mean, but like, if you knew there was someone living nearby you that could possibly summon Cthulhu if they did something wrong.
I mean, I suppose. I guess the bigger problem is that where I'm at mentally in life, I'd be like, you know what? I could say hi to Cthulhu today.
Yeah.
So I'd probably be the Achaki.
Hey, some people do turn to it out of like a sense of desperation or longing. Because the thing is, people who use the Achaki talk about the fact that you can see the universe in the bloom. They don't understand it, but they know you can see it in there.
I'd probably end up being one of the Achaki. Like, look at the shinies, guys.
Very shiny. I get a lot as kind of magic. I feel like it contrasts very strongly. There's actually two kinds of shiny magic. The other is Kdia. Remember how I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but like the bloom, there's these bloom events, right? It's a phenomenon. The thing that makes the bloom worse is that way back in the first age, Kdia started to become a thing. And Kdia are crystalline growth. They can grow on and over anything. And they act as lenses that concentrate light. And the bloom loves this. Like the more concentrated light you can give it, the more bloom you can get out of it, right? At least initially. The reaction can hit a runaway point, but like that's a different thing. And so in places where there's a lot of Kdia, it can be a huge problem potentially. Because if they catch the light, they can just start reflecting it and creating this basically this amplification chamber made from crystals. That encourages idea into being. And this can lead to all kinds of problems. But Kdia holds energy, and it stores energy in patterns, and you can actually use it as a way of performing magic. So it's incredibly valuable because people in Aido cannot perform magic on their own. Like, sorcerers get it from whatever their power source is, right?
Mm-hmm.
People who use Kdia, like they often have like arrays of like crystals and a harness to slot them into to do magic spells. Like Inganeo needs reagents from like the living world to do things. Um, what are the other ones? Hang on, I can remember this. Um, uh, Weigh-in is magic from the stars, and it requires like pieces of meteorite to do things with. Uh, Kale and Biaita are require you to have been exposed um, to either angels or devils. There's actually a debate over which one is the angels and which ones are the devils. Different cultures think different things.
Mm-hmm.
But
Remember, kids, biblically accurate angels are horrifying.
yeah. So the Kale are these like beings of like luminous light. They frequently have vaguely like familiar shapes, oftentimes kind of humanoid. Um, they uh they frequently have um uh things that seem similar to wings or other similar things. They often glow and are radiant and have interesting layered transparencies to them, and they feel warm and all kinds of things like that. Um, Siaita all look like very strange. They look like biology that has been rearranged into largely geometric shapes. They also seem to have very little regard for people. Like, they don't hate them or anything, they don't try to hunt them down, they just kind of don't care most of the time unless they actually want something from a person. But horrifying. I think you're weak if you think that's horrifying. I mean, it all depends on what's horrifying, right?
Yeah. I think Teletubbies is horrifying.
Teletubbies is creepy AF.
It really is.
You will not change my mind on that. Like, I've watched it, and the thing is, though, many children's shows are so scary.
They're so trippy.
Like, have you ever been, like, back when you were a nymph, right? Like, you ever watch a show, and then, like, you come back and you watch it as an adult life form, and you're like, what's I even thinking here? Like, this is not comforting, this is terrifying.
My comforting is something.
Horrifying is getting out of the shower and looking at the full wall mirror, the opposite side. No, Mode, no. Oh, I need to give you a hug, Mode.
Oh.
You're okay, darling. I could understand it raising some concerns, but it should not
Stop
horrify.
saying Candyman into the mirror mode. It'll be a lot less scary then.
Yes. I think there's a mirror mode toggle somewhere. You need to disable that.
The mirror doppelganger can't hurt you if you don't mirror.
I mean, is that why you think vampires can't see their own reflections? Like, it's not that they can't, they just choose not to, so they don't have to live with it anymore.
I think it was actually because the old vintage mirrors were silver backed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
silver was supposed to be purifying or reject evil or whatever, so that they couldn't see that. So modern mirrors, logically, all vampires would be able to see their reflections and all of
Yeah,
those.
because they're black backed, right?
And same thing with cameras and stuff. Like newer cameras, they'd be able to show up just fine.
Yeah.
There's no silver involved.
Saying Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times because you want someone to talk to. Mode, you can always talk to me. Like, if you weren't
here.
Yeah, if you weren't talking to Cinco right now, I'd offer you a chance to come talk to us. I'm worried it would make you upset, but you could come say hi. You're absolutely welcome to.
And like, you can always poke me in DMs. Like, I'm usually around.
Mm-hmm. You can always slide into our DMs.
Yeah, slide right in there. Cozy if we don't bite too hard.
I like how you said we don't bite too hard. Up here we're being wholesome. I mean, I you know what? I think Mothy helped me burn off like all of my loons yesterday.
All the news.
Thursday is wholesome day.
I'm still surprised Moth had 4 smashes.
Say it. The thing is, to paraphrase Garrus Vicarian, okay, save. We have been told we need to save and hydrate. I do have water in my cup. Ooh. Thank you for the hydrate. Wait, hold on, wait, what? Oh no! How do I unmiss you? Oh yes, the whole. You did indeed, Mode. To quote Garrus Vicarian, to paraphrase Garrus Vicarian, he had quantity, but he had quality.
Oh,
right? Like, you really, in retrospect, it should be 5. I wonder which one edged up there for you. Oh, there was one that was an almost. I remember was it the one that you were like, so close? I think I know which one it is now. If it's that one. Yeah. That's fair, I guess. But you know, you weren't feeling it that day. I can respect that. Oh, they were amazingly eldritch and weird and creepy, and I loved everything about Mega Banette. This is difficult to get the angle right on this.
Which thing you angling?
One of the second arms.
Can do it.
I just have to believe. Yeah. Next time you look over Mode, I don't know if you can actually hear me or not. We are doing an avian sorcerer. We're each doing our own take on it. Not Mothy, the Cradler over here is really exploring, getting in depth and exploring the avians as a design concept.
Belle's over here rocking an awesome pose though.
I had the pose, but she had the limbs.
I'm I'm over here limit it.
You know, I've often thought, like, if I were to lose a limb, like if you had to lose a limb, what limb would you lose, right?
Oh, that's a hard one.
And I figured it out, and it'd be one of my legs.
One of your legs?
Yeah. Because the thing is, I do my work on a computer. I type, I write, like I type, I draw, I stream, I do all kinds of stuff. It's like if I lose, if I lose, um, my my arms, I'm gonna have to figure out entirely new ways of doing all of that. And there are ways, and the people who can do that stuff have my undying respect, and I would rather not have to learn all of that. There we go, I did it, I landed it. I landed it.
Can do it.
I got it.
Yay.
Oh, they're so creepy. I love them. Yours?
Oh, the limbs.
Uh, I
Where'd
should
you
release
go?
what I will do. But for Aido, I plan to release do stat blocks.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna do like a stat block for just like a avian, a chalky sorcerer. I don't know what CR it will be yet. Relatively low level, I expect. That's fine. Like, there's part of me that if I was Mr. G, good evening and hello. How are you doing, darling? I haven't seen you around for a little bit. I expect I will someday, but how's it going? Hi to you. Yes to you too. They speak a dangerous amount of Japanese. Just enough to get myself in extreme trouble.
We'll wait for Yuzu to come rain down on us.
Yes. Because Yuzu can actually... Like, you've been in his streams before, right?
Yeah, he's got actual, like, conversational Japanese.
Your boy can talk. And we are doing... Well, I can't speak for Cradler. We are doing well. We are working on... So, we are working on a pair of avian sorcerers. The setting that I'm working on, Aido. Well, Yuzu's name.
Bell's turn this week.
Yeah, this week it is my world that we're working on. It is a world called Aido, and I've been working on doing. It is broadly PF2 based, and after I finish some of these lines, if people are into it, I can take a break and dig into some of the differences and mechanics and stuff of it. You only know enough to piss people off. Makes sense to me. I mean, what more do you need, really?
I know just enough to make Yuzu sad.
Make him sad or make him wish that you had practiced with him? Because it's gonna be one of the two.
Both. Probably both. Although I think he said something about potentially putting together a small study group.
Oh yeah. I might join, I don't know.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, I'm not. I have no gift with languages. I wish I did. Like, I say this as someone who has once learned another language, and parts of others of them, it's an incredibly uphill battle for me. Hey, they're coming together. I'm really happy with that. Oh, we don't have objectives to piss people off. Now there's a mood. I don't have to piss people off, but I could. I could. I absolutely could. Oh, they're so well articulated. Yours, Cravers.
I'm just enjoying these limbs.
Yeah. I think next week I really want to bring a monster to the table. Like, I know we're gonna roll for what we did, right?
I mean, we could just pick a monster, like, whatever.
Like, next time we do Aido, I want to bring like a monster to the table because I feel like you'd go nuts. You'd have so much fun, I think.
Well, let's do that the next couple ones. Well, we did a couple classes or whatever. Let's do a couple monsters.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me.
There we go. Monsters.
A couple classes, couple monsters, maybe a couple maps. We'll figure it out. But yeah, what we are doing technically is we are interpreting the sorcerer class as it would be for Aido, which is the name of the world.
I may eventually get to clothing if I stop being fascinated by limbs.
Oh, that is a wonderful statement. I love that. Can someone clip that, please? That's amazing.
Yes.
Hashtag Reben Barbara? What? Mr. MG, you have me at a disadvantage, sir.
What do you bring in Barbara for?
Bring in Barbara. I don't understand.
What do you mean by Britain? Or do you mean bring in?
Is this a new hashtag going around?
I don't know
Ask
anything.
CT.
I don't know what the Britain is though.
It might be bringing Barbara.
Be bringing.
Ask CT. Apparently, you just to know what this is, CT.
Well, I know what Barbara means, but I don't know what the Britain is.
What's Barbara?
So
hang on. Can this be said on stream?
Yeah.
Okay. Proceed.
So Barbara's a name we gave to one of our Sarkosian angels. Which I think I've shown you, but I don't know if you remember what they look like.
Yes! Okay, yeah. It took me a minute to load.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, do you want to do Sarkosian angels?
But do you two know each other?
Yeah.
I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah, he was part of the Pathfinder shenanigans that
Oh, well, that's phenomenal.
He played I can't remember what it was, some skeleton dude called Epitaph. I don't remember what the species was.
Oh, that's cute. And
It's
they
like a
sound...
skeleton.
I know what they're talking about, the living skeleton ones. I know what those are.
It's a fun character.
Yes. Okay, Okay, I did not know that. I would also be totally down to try and do an interpretation of one of those. I don't know how good it would be, but I would try.
They're at least, I guess, except for like some of the feather layout on their wings. Aside from that, they're not too complicated. They are kind of fun.
Sarkosian angel. I love that term. I don't know what kind of monster I'm going to be bringing in yet.
Well, I guess maybe we could probably do
Yeah,
it.
it is from Alluria. It's one of the I love Alluria stuff. I've never run a game in their setting, but every standard fantasy Pathfinder game I've run, I have used their books, like whatever's available. OB2, yes, thank you. OB2. OB2? One of the two.
OB2.
It's either OB1 or OB2. I'm sorry. I should feel bad.
Don't apologize. That's amazing.
Do we need to set up a date? What mode do we need to set a date for?
Oh?
Like, I'd have to ask my sweetheart mode, but I don't think she'd mind. But just a date, okay? Like, I'm not one. I do not have the stamina for, like, multiple relationships.
I mean, if we feed you enough vitamin B12, maybe.
That's a very soft maybe.
Have you tried 5,000 micrograms of B12?
I think I actually take something akin to that every day because
Yeah.
I don't have a very good immune system.
Oh.
Like, I'm not like on like say like Iron Mouse's level or someone who like has a strong immunodeficiency disorder. I just have a mild one. But my problem isn't that I have a single condition. It's that I have mild cases of about every condition.
Oh. Frustrating.
The spirit is willing, but the body is bruised and spongy. Okay? Why would it go spongy?
Oh, it's a Futurama quote.
Like I assume that. Oh, right. I assume that was for comedy. Did that actually happen?
It's the Futurama quote when that one captain guy is.
Mr. G, I just started to shrimp up. Why would you make me do that? Okay.
There you go. Get that stretch.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that was like 3 vertebrae.
Oh, hopefully they're in a better alignment now.
Oh, I don't know. It actually really hurt.
Oh no.
Okay, now pause your check. Okay, fine. I will sit up.
Don't shrimp. Or shromp.
The shromp is the inverted one. Shromp would be like hips upwards, shoulders back. Okay.
Mid spine down.
Mode? Right now, you know what? I would not mind learning some PF2. I don't know when I can do it. I don't know when I can do it. If you finish up with Cinco like before we are done here, like we'll talk about it. I don't know what my schedule's gonna be like, but I'm down for talking about it because you're right. It is time to do that, especially since like I'm using PF2 as a base.
Learn some more PF2. Can only get stronger.
Yeah. Romp is when you curl. Yeah, no. I earlier, you guys missed it. Earlier I was starting to shrump rather than shrimp. Don't ask me how I was doing it. I don't know.
Just kind of Just imagine you chilling at the computer like this.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of, yeah. Oh, good heavens.
Tendrils and the... I don't know. I'm just scribbling now.
Oh, it's amazing.
Which
Also,
is
I love that face. Like it almost looks like it could be not quite human from a distance.
I get rid of the pink. Does it still look okay without the pink?
The pink?
Yeah, I hid the pink so you can see the face a little bit better.
Oh yeah, it still looks fine. I don't even know what pink you got rid of. So like we are okay. Oh, I see. That should be fine from this angle. Like there's clearly like no booba going on here.
Until we... No, just kidding. Until we answer.
I mean, I guess in theory they could have booba. Like they didn't, like it wouldn't be like normal, but like they could have them like attached or something. Yeah, because this is a reinterpretation of like the sorcerer from PF2. I have not decided on a sex or gender for mine. Maybe they're an egg.
Egg.
The booba handed over. Absolutely. Oh man. I wish I could do that. Just be like, demand people hand over the booba.
Like, hand me the booba now, please.
Yes.
The daily quota of booba that must be met.
You sound like you're doing someone. Like almost like Deckard Cain.
I don't know.
It's amazing. Like your creaky old man voice is fantastic.
I'm just old now.
I can't even step to that. I'm not gonna try.
You can do it, Velix. I believe in you.
I might try in a minute. I don't like the idea that they're like just looking at you.
I chronically, like, unless I'm actually having them do something in a scene, I just make characters stare directly into the camera like you're not supposed to in film.
Oh yeah. Well, because the thing is, like in film, you're watching them, right? Like the idea that they are staring at you. Like the person is like looking at it. Yeah, like Seth.
What's going on? You looking my way, sir?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And there we go. Okay.
Did a silent squeak because I looked over at the phone so I could peek at yours again.
Oh. Yeah, I'm glad you're so excited by it.
It's fun!
Oh yeah, I'm having tons of fun with it. And like, because this is probably like giving sorcerers more hit dice might be messing up with the balance a little bit. But I don't actually care that much. Because at least for me, part of the point about Aido is like, as long as something's too far like out of whack, right? Like it's more about getting the feel and the setting right for me. Kitty's art be like, I spy with my little eye, a bitch? What? I'm so confused. I think it's too close. Yeah. Oh, I'm on a vector layer. Oh, I didn't need to be on a vector layer. Rasterize.
You're vectoring.
Yeah.
Vectoring over there.
What am I doing vectoring over here? Oh, I get it. Mr. MG saying like your artwork is like constantly looking at people being like, I spy. Yeah, always looking. I get it now. Mr. MG, I get it now. Okay. I'm gonna have to do some work here because it's not working out for me.
Dude.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let me rotate them. Nah. Let's just go this way. Because this was the angle I can make it look good from here. I'm super excited by this. I like this. I like this a lot. Yeah, next time I'm gonna bring like something like I'm gonna bring like one of my like low level critters. And we'll just work our way through a bestiary for a little while or something. Yeah, I will be getting the stat block for this together over the course of like the next coming week. And like it will be available somewhere. I don't know where. I need to figure out where.
Like a little corner of the world.
Yeah. Maybe I'll make a little wiki thing for it somewhere.
Yeah.
I really like you do this thing where they have like these like very solid like overhangs for their eyes. I'm kind of super into that actually.
Just kind of there.
Yeah. I like how they have dummy noses, because their noses, like the thing on their face, they can't smell with them, right?
Like a little ridge.
Yeah. And like it was put there entirely for the purpose of making them what is that wonderful term? It was put there for the express purpose of making them less disturbingly inhuman.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it worked.
Make them a little closer to human, but not uncanny valley kind of thing.
Thing is, I think they just kind of ended up in the uncanny valley though.
I guess maybe it depends on people. I think it.
No, like ultimately.
I guess. Maybe.
Hard to say.
I'm a little bit bigger.
Wait a second. Image 4. Vent holes. Mine are cradlers. Or do you mean like the noses?
One more time.
I don't think they actually have like vent holes. I think they actually vent things by opening up their wing cases and like fluttering. I think they help dispel heat that way. That's way better on that side than this side. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Get a little bit more like that. A little more like that. We can have, here. If there's something I think I also really, really want for the sorcerers, other than like them, I kind of like, well, other than like sort of removing and like reworking the bloodlines thing properly. I think I'd like for them to be extra extra display. Like, you know how like anyone who does a chalky is going to like start showing signs of it, right? But I like the idea that sorcerers get like the most of it. Um, might leave that more like that. There we go. I need to add some more like the chalky touches to this thing. Wakaranai. Oh, okay. I think it's because I've been talking about this like for a while, and and you weren't here for the first part of it, Mr. MG. So there are in Aido there are the 9 magics. No other magic exists outside of these 9 categories of magic, and one of them is a chalky. A chalky. And a chalky outside of magic is the magic of the bloom, which is like this wild energy that that runs through the world, and that sometimes has what are known as events where it opens up reality to the outside, which is not as fun as it might sound. And even worse, sometimes it can let stuff from the outside back into the world. And the idea was that we were going to draw a chalky. You can see it up in the upper right. It's this word here. But you're only hearing chalky? Well, you know, that's how it be sometimes. I think I'm gonna do one with the mouth open actually. Yeah.
Did it.
But when you tap into it, it's it's this very wild, chaotic energy, and the magic reflects that. And everyone who practices a chalky, to some extent, starts developing signs of it. Like they start having ghosts and other things appear behind them, strange after images, whispering voices, things like that. And I really think I wanted the sorcerers to be like extra that way. Let's see, because their mouth is supposed to look kind of like that when closed. So open, it's gonna have like that here. That's gonna be out over here. Um, connects like there.
Yeah, my usual group would probably immediately ban me from playing in a jockey sorcerer.
Oh, yeah. So, and the thing about them is that the idea behind them is that as the sorcerer of a jockey, sorcerers naturally gain like aspects of whatever energy that it is that they use because they're tied to it. And a jockey, they just get more. Because all the jockey people get a jockey signs. So they probably look very otherworldly. So does that explain it? I hope I explained it. I may have missed. If I missed something, let me know.
I just know it sounds very like chaos based, and I would lean into that hard.
Oh yeah, like especially for like sorcerers, like any Achaki, like I guess bloodline, whatever you want to call them. Like I want it to like um I want it to like basically nothing is like properly in stone. Right?
Yeah.
I gotta do some more work on it. But I like the idea that like any spell that they cast is going to either like at least a minor rider, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I feel about that kind of shape on the side of their heads. I don't know what to do with that.
What shape?
Remember they had like these like kind of like weird like coney shapes?
Oh yeah.
And I'm still not sure what to do with that entirely. Oh, I know what I want to do with it. I want to go like
I stopped looking at the reference for a while, so I forgot about it.
that's a-okay. References is old and stuff. I don't know if this works for all of them, but I kind of like. I don't know what I'm doing with it. So that's kind of the idea behind like how a sorcerer is gonna work with a Chalky, and why they are gonna have like higher hit dice is that sorcerers are going to often have abilities to do things like the idea of I guess like burning themselves, where it's that they can push themselves beyond their limits, but in exchange they take damage, and in the case of mishaps, that might just like be a thing that happens to them. So I'm thinking D8s instead of D6s so they can absorb that a little bit better. Oh, there we go. That's some nice texture, yeah. Okay. Much clearer idea what I'm doing with this now. Thanks to like the redraws, the sketchy stuff. So I gotta focus in on that for a minute. I'm still using a softer pencil because I find that going with something more like charcoaly look works well with the way I draw.
Yeah.
But I have a history actually with like hard and soft charcoal pastels and oil pastels if you're familiar with them.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning something about that when we were talking about art stuff before.
Yeah.
And I have pastels floating around the house somewhere because, like many art peoples, I have just random art supplies that sit and gather dust.
Yeah,
Until
I have some somewhere too.
you
I
suddenly
have
use
some
it.
somewhere in so like everyone has like a small personal storage like locker up on the house station, right? And I have another one that I have of like all my things are important to me back on the main station, which I'm gonna have to like clean out when I leave here, and but that's another thing for the future. But when I do, I have like a canvas somewhere in one of them, like buried under stuff, like an old canvas. I still kind of want to do something with it. I might actually, there's a friend of mine who always wanted like a painting or piece of art from me. I might do that.
That would be fun.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm thinking D8 instead of D6s because I want them, like, I want the way they apply things like meta magic and stuff like that to be through, like, burning hit points. Like, I don't want them to be able to necessarily do it the traditional way. I guess it could, but it's not as fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite as on brand. Yeah, again, they're also gonna have at sorcerers being like having that energy be a part of them does give them certain benefits, such as the fact that they are going to be able to like every so often, like every few levels, probably like every like at first level and then at fourth level and every 4 levels after that, like they're going to be able to gently increase some of their base attributes for magic. Like whether that's making their spells harder to resist, or if that's making them kind of more adding extra flat damage to their spells. There's a lot of options that I'd like to be able to give them so they could make choices there. Or giving themselves extra like spell attack when they have to roll for their spells. Oh, I think this is gonna work out. I think this is working out. I'm
Is it working out?
I think it's working out. I will also have. I like the idea that sorcerers also have higher dietary requirements than other people. Because Aido has a survival system, mechanic, whatever. You don't have to use it, I guess. I do. And I like the idea that they just take a little bit more food than other people.
I mean, if you're adding in the using hit points mechanic, I feel like that makes sense because like you're essentially using your life force and you need to replenish.
Right? That was kind of my thoughts there.
I've used too much magic. I am now starving.
Yep. I've been using too much magic lately. I can hear my tummy growling.
Summer's growling.
Okay. Oh, here we go. I'm actually super hungry myself. Like, I might actually, like, legit have to go and get some food, like, as soon as we're done with this.
I mean, you gotta fuel the body as a biological being.
You do, you do. You absolutely do. It's one of my most and least favorite parts about being a biological carbon-based organism. Like, I had to,
It is a hassle.
like, it's a hassle, but I love food. I can't eat most of it, but I love it. Like, one of my big treats, like, every year, is to get, like, a root beer and some non-dairy ice cream and have a root beer float.
Okay, root beer's really good though.
A biological need for speed. Well, I now know, Mr. MG, that no matter what else, that you are a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. So clearly, you gotta go fast.
That goes on.
I think the design pencil's a little bit too much. I need like a I need something that's just got slightly thicker center. Favorite pencil maybe?
Okay, pencil. What are you going for?
Like I want like a denser core of the color. Mechanical pencil's almost it, but it has no like outer smoothness, right? It's very it's gonna work with that. I worked with mechanical pencils
Kind of a soft edge.
physically before. It's soft edge, hard center. Design pencil's the closest, but like
I'm using rough pencil, but it does have a texture. I don't know if you want that texture.
oh, okay, yeah, it's definitely got texture. Which texture are you using?
I'm just on rough pencil. My density for the texture is 40, stabilization 6, density 100, and then just whatever on the brush size.
Yeah. My stabilization is 7 because my hands are a little shaky.
Yeah.
Try it 70, see what that looks like. Oh, 70's too high. Try, oh, this is actually right. I just need to turn it way down. Brush size at 7, and this works very well. Okay, thank you, Crater.
Yeah.
I just needed a soft pencil. Like, I don't need...
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna try for 10 with this. Yeah, 10.
Mechanical pencil can be good for soft, but you gotta like drop the density down to like 40 or so.
Oh, really?
Like it's gonna be paler because the opacity goes down.
Yeah, no. I think I'm taking with rough pencil because I really like the feel of it. But yeah, Mr. MG, I feel... What? Also the what?
Oh, as a like mechanical pencil also has the hardness setting on it. There's a couple of.
CT always is excited about art stuff.
There's all kinds of settings.
Yeah, but Mr.
Okay,
MG,
I like the rough pencil.
You heard it. So, Cradler, can I say that officially you like it rough?
Yes.
Okay. Good to establish that here and now. Okay. Alright, there we go. Yes, this is what I want. Okay. Yeah, that rough pencil though. It knows what it's doing.
It's just nice to sketch with.
It's really good. Yeah, I'm actually way into this.
I did some commission work for was it Drop Dead Studios? They do some of the Spheres of Power stuff.
Wow, really?
Rough pencil is what I used.
Nice. I did not know you did commission work for Drop Dead Studios.
I did their inside art for their one of their undead supplements and one of their bestiary things.
Oh, that's actually really nifty. That's really cool. I wish I could do art like that.
You probably could, honestly.
I don't think I'm quite good enough.
X'd out.
How dare you doubt my lack of artness? You haven't even looked at my thing for a while.
I don't know, looks pretty good.
Okay. But yeah, I like the idea that like even like standard sorcerers have some aspects of chaos, right? And Achaki just has more of that by a lot.
Yeah.
I've always felt like sorcerers were kind of like the martial artists. They're like the monks of spell casting, if you know what I mean. It is medication time. Hang on. They're like the monks of of the spellcasting world, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Kinda. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know why I decided to try and draw them with their mouths open. I kind of regret that now.
Why do you regret it?
It's just difficult.
How we get better, we challenge ourselves.
That's fair.
And then we regret it.
Immediately, yeah, regret it. Just immediate regret. We challenge ourselves and then we instantly regret.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Can you imagine kissing this face? I can.
It could be interesting.
Oh, I'd be into it.
MG, what do you think?
MG. Oh, yeah.
Pucker up that tree.
Let's see why you'd be banned from playing in a Shocky-based sorcerer. I think this would be right up your alley.
It is right up my alley, but that's why I would be banned from it.
I mean,
because
you gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, yeah, but me as a person, like, when I play things, I gravitate towards, like, chaotic neutral just automatically. I try not to if, like, the character's not that way, but...
Yeah, you gotta go character first, and then, like, whatever it do, right?
But the ones that I have that do lean that way, like, I let them lean that way. That's what they do. I'm a very, like, this is what my character does.
Yeah. And,
But,
Mr. MG, we're asking, can you imagine kissing an avian?
Yeah, the face on Belle's screen, it opened up.
Yeah.
And got nice little mandibles.
Oh, yeah. So much mandible. But could you imagine kissing this? Cause I can. I feel like, Mr. MG, I feel like if you're not, like, a part of my streams on Wednesday, you need to be there, because that's when I do... I'm currently smasher passing my way through the whole Pokédex, with my wonderful friend, Yellow Maw, who deserves a shout-out, because he hasn't gotten one. Um, like, if you're not watching Yellow Moth, you should. He is... What's a great adjective for Yellow Moth, Cradler? Because I don't even know. He's so charming.
Yeah.
He's just massively charming.
My brain just wants to say cozy. He's cozy.
He's very cozy.
He's a cozy moth.
He lives in a lighthouse next to the sea. Who lives in a lighthouse next to the sea? Yellow Moth bee. I should never do that again. Like, I should really never ever do that again.
There's something that I can select. What do I have here?
Because I would not be opposed to kissing this fine fellow here.
Oh.
Ooh. Yes, what's this? You can, there's actually redeem to get me to make those noises. I'm not sure if I should make them separate or not. So far, it's been okay. But maybe I should make them separate. But I didn't want to have a million redeems either.
Yeah.
There's one that I'm waiting on. I'm actually waiting on doing because I need to get some stuff in place for it. Which is, there's been a much requested for a hug redeem.
Hugs.
Yes. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Mr. MG, weren't you the one talking about the, we were talking about the spheres of power and things the other day?
Yeah, he was.
Bouncing. Yeah. I haven't heard you comment too much on the mechanics of this tonight, which either means that they have no interest for you, I guess, or that I'm doing really well and I don't know which one it is. Hopefully it's the former. Hopefully it is the latter and not the former.
I think it's probably because you have a much clearer idea what you want to do with them.
Could be.
But we'll see what he says.
Yeah, I will be releasing this somewhere. Oh, this is a revamp of the Sorcerer class. It's Aido is Pathfinder 2E based. We're gonna go with based. Because it's definitely not PF 2nd edition. Like, not like properly. And I'll go into the mechanics in a minute. I'll like take some time out and we'll look at the mechanical side of it. But this is a redoing of the Sorcerer, and we're going with strictly one with a chalky path. Based? What is based? Kraler's artwork? Kraler's art is definitely based. What even is that outfit? I love it.
I don't know. It's like this like shawl thing that they threw that I was like, there's two buttons in the front so that they can open it up wider for their head. And then like the back has like little ties that come around the front and then the front just hangs down.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. I also love your, like, the way you're doing the magic. Like, that's phenomenal.
They're just like, I was like, there's this hollow brush and this could be fun, and
That's great. Mine's not gonna look like that, but I like that as a concept of how it looks.
magical confetti, you know?
Yeah, it's very pearlescent and stuff. I like that for this. So the idea behind it is, so like, Yeah, in a minute I will stop and do this properly. But the idea behind this is that we are doing a take on the sorcerer. And in particular, we're doing the one we're drawing is a chalky based sorcerer. But they could come in many different styles, not just a chalky. Currently, not all magic types are suited for them, but there's definitely plenty that they could do. And the idea is that sorcerer in Aido. I explained this so that when I start talking about mechanics, it makes some sense, right? A sorcerer in Aido is not someone who has a bloodline that is like, this is how I get my powers. It's someone who was exposed either before they were born or hatched or later in life. They were exposed to the energies that give them their powers. And they carry part of that inside them all the time. And because of this, they can draw on these powers, but they can use them more strongly than other people who can use the same energies or who make use of the same energies. But the cost for that is that it is a physical strain and exercise for them. It fatigues them, it wears them out, it exhausts them. They require more food, usually, to do their thing. They require more food to maintain themselves and maintain their magical potency, I guess. And in order to do things like use meta magic and things like that, they have to push themselves to their limit and beyond it, which results in them taking HP damage. Got to do some work there. Okay, get back down here. Yours looks so good, Cradler.
I'm just slapping some shadows places randomly.
Hey,
But
that looks good.
I think I need to help the old dog up the stairs again, so.
Okay. Okay.
Right back again.
So, the idea is that, rather than necessarily, they're basically the same thing as bloodlines, but rather than being like bloodlines, they are where your powers come from. Chalky require more food. I require Chalky's lips. So a chalky is the type of magic they use. It is spelled like that. For people who are trying to understand what I'm saying, there are the 9 types of magic, and that is one of them, and that's the one that we're cutting this after today. The Chaki is magic of the bloom. So sorcerers, who I want to have kind of like a bit of like a chaotic layer to them anyway. Chalky is also like the eldritch chaos magic of the world, I guess is the best way to put it. So they're kind of like doubly chaotic. That's right, okay. Because the different magic types work a little differently. But the classes to have their own thing, and then the magics to have their own thing. Generally speaking, I probably would limit a class to certain kinds of magics. Make sure it works okay. 40 or something. And in the case of the sorcerer, we went with a chalky to explore like thematically because it's what I rolled. Is good. So, beyond that, what can I tell you about this that will help elucidate things? Which bit of it? I'm always keen to hear some of that. Yeah, and I think it probably describes like a lot of what I design. Is my interest is always my first thought has always been to the theme and the setting and to reinforce that every opportunity I can. I'm trying to balance that with the idea of ease of play, regard whether or not that means ease of play is the same thing as like power. Yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to figure out. But I will be posting these like I have like a layout to do like a class with, and I will be finding a place to post them in the future so you can actually go and see some of this stuff. And take a longer look at it. Okay. I think I got them down. Okay. So the idea behind them is like mechanically I was thinking move the hit dice up slightly. Right? Move the hit dice up slightly to account for the fact that to use meta magic they have to hurt themselves. From a D6 to a D8. Yeah, absolutely. And I plan to. I don't know when I will be working on it exactly. I have another huge project that is big spoiler time so far, but I'm hoping to get that finished within the next week or two. When that's done, then I'm going to start finding a place where I can put all of this information. But yeah, the idea is that whenever you cast a spell, it's always going to have a minor chaos effect. And then you might have a major chaos effect, basically. Your spells also will have to be very, like, you should know what you're doing. Like, I mean, like, when you do cast a spell, you need to have, like, an idea of, like, what you're doing. Because Your spells don't respect, like, friend or foe. At all.
Leaf fire.
Oh, there we go. I'm so stoked about him. Yours looks great, Cradler.
We just going.
We just going. I'm actually nearly at the point where I can't. Like my hand is starting to the point where like it's like, oh, you cramp in a bit. Um. But I want to try and get some kind of like other shadows and stuff on them. Their shadowing's gonna be very weird because they have like there's like three light sources. There's like yeah, there's three light sources happening in this scene.
If I come back to this later after Strem, I might fix the lighting. I'm just kind of slapping things with
Yeah, like you can't. You can only stop when you can stop, right? Okay, I gotta clean that up so that's shit. I want. There we go. Applies paths. Aw, thank you. I could use it. I like after Stram, I'm going to have to like have a sit down and like gently massage my hands and stuff.
Been doing a lot of art. The muscles aren't used to it anymore.
No, the muscles are not used to it anymore, and I'm actually doing a lot of art on my own. I've been secretly working on some stuff for my streams, and it's not ready yet, but I'm trying. Everyone will know like when it's time. I will let everyone know. I'm actually like I haven't been doing this long, right? And I haven't been doing it long on these broadcasts, but I actually want to try and re-debut sometime like near the end of this month or the start of August.
Fun.
Oh yeah, I'm very keen on it.
Relaunch.
No, you absolutely can. All you have to do is ask. Like we would love to have you in here. Would you like to join us?
Join us.
Like I don't know if you're streaming or not. I don't know if you're streaming, but you're welcome to if you're not streaming. Oh, there we go. There we go. One of us. Oh, you are is the thing. Yes. Oh. Oh, boom. Okay then. But give me a second. But take your time. We not stopping yet.
And if I hit I'm done with it for today part, I'll just start scribbling something else.
Oh yeah, it would be amazing. You do great, like little scribbles. Like that's not bad. That's for like 3 hours of work. I definitely think I upped the detail here. What do you think, Fraser?
Well, let's see.
Like, using the line work compared to the one I did before.
One second, I gotta refresh my phone one.
Okay. Yay.
But there we go. Okay. Yeah.
I feel like the line work is way better. Drag you in for a bit. All
I
right.
really like.
Okay, mode.
I really like yours.
Thank you. I love yours too. It's fantastic. Hello, mode. Let me see if
I
I
spent
can
most
get
of my
you
time just
on.
enjoying the study.
Yeah, hang on. I gotta do a thing so that you can be seen. But you are now
Oh,
live.
I will be seen.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we're playing Monster Hunter over on my stream with Cinco and them, but was wanting to talk to you guys for a while now, and I'm sitting there like, it looks like we're probably gonna go all the way till like midnight or later, and I'm like, that means that there's not gonna be a time to talk to anybody.
No, because we're probably this is like us we're not doing it yet, but like we're starting to wind down some. Like hand can only take what hand can take.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been logged out of reactive, which is why you're not showing up. Yeah, hang on a moment.
Yeah, no, I wanted to see if you guys would be interested in doing a Path 2E game at some point.
What? You know I am actually like legit.
I want to find out like a date.
It's the bigger thing is like, are you okay with chaos? Because I am just a being of chaos.
I mean, look, I'm okay with everything. You gotta understand, my first group was literally a bunch of murder hobos who murdered and kept hoboing.
Uh-oh. Hang on. Okay, good.
I've dealt with murder hobos. I've dealt with full role players. I dealt with theater students.
Oh my.
Those are some of the weirdest like you could have at your table, because those people don't role play their character; they act their character.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's kind of that is where the fun comes in.
I guess that's maybe like.
Well, no. Here's the problem. Like, I can understand like getting into character. That's fine. But when you're exemplifying every word and making every statement as if you're on a theater play, that's when it starts to get to an area that's like, this is a little bit past role playing. It's like you're putting on a show for everybody, and like, I don't know if you realize we're just a bunch of guys at a table. Like,
it's
nobody here is gonna like give you a 5-star review.
But like at the same time,
you
surviving.
As someone who did acting myself, you never underperform.
Oh, trust me, this person did not underperform. They were. I will smite at the enemy, as I have done so many a time before. What ho? The light! It shows me the way, and I must deliver its might.
Because
Yeah,
it's
like,
amazing.
I'm laughing because like I grew up with theater family. Like my dad acted, directed, and my brother acted. So like,
that's amazing.
That's exactly how that goes.
Okay.
Oh, and the worst part about it is that I know that I'm doing it disjustice, because, like, the way he did it was definitely on the side of like an actor. I am role playing an actor right now, and if you have to understand, there's a big difference. Those of you who are in chat right now, there's a big difference between an actor and someone role playing a character.
Yeah, well, Mr. MG, have I ever underperformed for you? Yeah. No, like if you want to do like a PF2E
Let's say, Val, that's a loaded question.
Questions can be loaded. Answers don't have to be.
I don't know about that one, but I mean,
I keep abusing my brushes that I have here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna...
like in terms of like
sources
what
that
day of
download.
the week is probably the biggest thing. I need to start doing that. I really need to start doing that.
So if we're doing day of the week, right now, the only days that are absolutely no-goes for me are Sunday.
Right.
And technically Tuesday, because we have the Borderlands Tuesdays.
Maybe a bit during that Darkest Dungeon run. Well, you know what? The call is gonna go out on Saturday. Like all of your team builds, send them in, and I'll try and I can't promise I'll use them all that week, but I'll try and use them on Sunday because that's when we return to the darkest of dungeons. But you know my schedule mode. Like I can't do Saturdays. Fridays would be difficult. I may be able to talk my sweetheart into letting me do Fridays. But like that's a difficult thing.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah, no,
Friday night is usually date night.
which is fair. No, I'm not gonna take from anybody's like thing. Like the best, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a day that like absolutely has nothing else going on in it, and the problem is that
The problem is, yeah,
everybody's got their own schedules, so they're all following their own thing.
and we have Borderlands Tuesdays, and then
Yeah.
Wednesdays is Smasher Pass Day. For like and it's gonna be that way for like I think like at least like another 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah. I just picked
Figured
up a
out.
fish. Nice.
Which I've never seen you on Smasher Pass mode.
I was there. What are you talking about?
Okay,
I was there for Gen 2.
okay.
I was there for the entirety of Gen 2.
Oh, this was before my my dissociate episode though.
Maybe.
Definitely. 'Cause I-
Deleted memory.
Yeah, I don't have it anymore, Mode. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, for those of you who do not know me, I have a brain disorder. Which might explain the execution. Like, Mr. MG, I will try. I will try harder for you this week, okay? I will do better. I can do better. Um,
Yeah, don't stress yourself out about it.
oh, no. Darkest Dungeon. I'm not stressed about it. But, I don't know, I don't know what day would work is the big thing for me, right? Because Saturday I run gates. Aw, Mr. MG, thank you. And like I can't drop out of the Saturday game because I'm the GM.
Right. Well, and I would
That would destroy the Saturday game.
Well, I wouldn't ask for Saturday. I wouldn't ask for Saturday anyway because not only so my friends are weird, and you can ask Citrus. Citrus recently met a whole bunch of them. Definitely on the weird side, but they have a real bad habit of deciding last minute that they want to do stuff. And 9 times out of 10, Saturday is when that stuff happens. But they will wait until like, so say like we want to get together at 7. The message will go out at 6:30
Right.
for people to get together. And
Makes
by
sense.
6:30, most people already have something already planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's this feeling of you need to show up in the group. So there's been a couple of times in where I'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this Saturday, and it's gonna be great." And then my friends are like, "Hey, yo, we're doing this Saturday. You better show up." And it's like, well, there goes what I was going to do.
Well, clearly you just need to like put out what you're going to do on Saturday ahead of time.
Well, it's not that easy. I wish it was that easy.
I didn't think it was for a moment.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I would love to know more about PF2E, especially because I'm using PF2E as a base for this.
mhm. And I wouldn't mind.
Mr. MG says that sounds like a bit of a dick, not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. Some of my friends are kind of dicks. I won't even begin to defend that one. And the thing is that there's not anybody like gun to head going, "Oh, you better show up, or otherwise I'm gonna hurt you or anything." It's just one of those things. It's like you feel like you have to show up because literally everybody else is showing up, and then I've got really bad FOMO.
I used to feel that way.
So
I don't anymore.
So when I have FOMO that hits me, it gets even worse.
Oh, that's amazing what you're doing with the magic cradler. I love it.
You kept mentioning like loosey-goosey chaos stuff, so I'm just like, yeah, it's
Well, no,
not
that looks so close the way I imagined, like a Bloom event kind of starting up. It's great. I love it. Like, I'm not gonna do it justice.
Well, you can download these brushes too.
I'm gonna have to.
I don't remember what all of them are, but we can find them.
We will find them. Like, honestly, Monday might strangely be, like, one of the best days for me. Because, like, Tuesday
I mean,
is...
I wouldn't mind setting up for a Monday game.
Yeah, either that, or, like, maybe super, like, late night Thursday, or, like, afternoons Friday. Like, I could get free, probably, most Fridays. Not this one, I'm busy, but...
My biggest thing right now is that my schedule is tentative at best at the moment because I have a set schedule with Monday through Friday with my work.
Yeah.
But that set schedule is going to be changing soon, and then hopefully will change again to what I want it to be changed to.
Morty, welcome back, darling.
More than anything, I want my schedule to be changed to 8 to 7 Monday through Friday, but having Wednesdays off. That's the goal.
I wish you well with that. Yeah.
But my boss has basically already stated that it's basically good. They just can't confirm it until the new policies are in place.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Monday sounds like it would be a good time. I just would need to know when people would be available, and more than likely.
Stream.
What time would you be streaming on Monday?
I stream at the same time, like guaranteed. I stream Arma Beta streams, which are at 21 EDT. I don't vary that. I have a thing about consistency. But Morty, welcome back. See anything from, like, familial at all here? I have to ask. Doing this because I wanted to, like, I didn't actually want to do, like, wings properly. I wanted to get the idea that they're, like, moving back here a little bit to help stabilize. And the images. See any sort of familial resemblance? Yeah. Like, Tuesday feels, as it is, if you don't mind, like, my dealing with other stuff, like, maybe Wednesday, like, after stream is probably one of the better times, or before stream, depends on how long we want to run for. Because I'm currently not doing Sigma streams. I may, sometimes, but, like, if I have a game, I'm not gonna do a Sigma stream during the game, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Our first boss battle is scheduling.
Oh my goodness, right? Yeah.
Well, that's always the case, yeah. Now, what I would recommend because here's basically what would happen. I would, with any hope, I'd be working 8 to 7 Monday through Monday. So after 7, I would get home, get on about 8 o'clock CST. And if people are,
what time is it now, CST?
it'd be 9 p.m. CST for you. Or sorry, EST for you, or BDT, whatever.
No.
I-
What
I am CST.
what time is it where you are, Cradler?
11:38.
It's 11:38.
Okay, so you're an hour behind me. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it'd be an hour behind where you're at. So basically, it would be 9 for you. And then we could play until midnight, and that'd be the latest I could go. Would be 8 to midnight. That would be a 4-hour session.
Yeah.
That's if everybody would be okay with that.
I'm a 4-hour session.
So 8 would be 9. That's literally when I start streaming.
Yeah,
I'd be
that's the problem.
I'd be okay with a 4-hour session, but like, ooh, I'd have to make some room.
Right. The only
I'm not
day
opposed
that
to
right
doing,
now,
let me be clear.
the only day right now that if my schedule gets cleared, the only day that would probably be the best day would be Wednesdays, and that would be like Wednesday afternoons or something like that. But that would have to be with my schedule being approved, because right now I still work 8 to 5 or 8 to 7 on
I like this.
Wednesdays.
Yeah, we're gonna take it.
So if y'all are willing to wait until September to start the game,
Like I can wait if you can wait. You've been very keen on it.
yeah. I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind waiting. Like it's more I want to play with friends, because one of the things that sucks right now is that I'm playing with people that kind of are friends, but they became friends after we started playing a couple sessions. They're not like lifetime friends, and I kind of miss playing with like.
Easy. Do we feel like lifetime friends?
Yes.
God,
It feels like lifetime friends.
A warm
And-
fuzz.
So much more fun.
And so that's kind of what I want, is I want to have that kind of group dynamic again.
Also, Mel, I know this is like just the epitome of sketchy, but
No, I love it. What's the good sketchy? Your picture?
yeah.
That's phenomenal. And so is like mine, right? So is mine. It's been like we'll just have to finish them up another time, right?
Just vibing. I don't know what I continue to do weird stuff with like the colors and
I actually
all
really
around
like it.
the magic-y stuff. And
Oh yeah,
like
I like how few colors you've used for like the base, and then like how
the magic pop.
yeah, the magic pop.
It just
But yeah,
I would really enjoy that mode. I'd be honored. It's such a pain in the ass scheduling. Yes, it is. I'm glad you like the club so much, by the way, Moldy. I need proper names. I don't have names for yet. Yeah, hopefully you won't like start screaming mode when I eventually start talking about like the mechanics of it, because like this is the idea was to try and figure out like how like the sorcerer works. It's like D8 hit die, 7 skill points a level, good fortitude and discipline, bad reflex and cohesion, and then that's kind of how it's looking right now. Yeah. Like I actually... Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like I'm not gonna scream at anybody for rules stuff like.
No, but I actually would not mind like talking with you about like some of it in the future, because like that's also part of why I'm really keen to play like PF2E, because like I don't have a working knowledge of it. Like,
Well,
I
if you're planning on doing a Pathfinder 2E like base for your current setup,
it definitely I am working on it.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit different, but I would definitely be willing to let you know how to make the class.
Like some that I have, like Aido is kind of like in this weird like Pathfinder 1.5-ish space right now.
Hmm.
And it's like part of that is because like uh I know skill points have gone away, right? But I really kind of like skill
Skill,
points, but
yeah,
I
skill
wanted
points. There's differences, but yeah, skill points themselves are gone.
It's so weird.
yeah,
Well, it makes sense in context, but it also is one of those things that it's kind of one of those things that they kind of adapted from 5th edition
yeah,
because and the thing is I can kind of understand why skill points are
But
weird.
does the edition still have skill points?
No.
no, it does not. It just
Skill
has like
points has
proficiencies.
are you proficient or are you not? And that's literally it's a yes or no question.
Mm.
Other than that, you have no skill, you have no things on it. Trust me, the first time I ever filled out a 5th edition character sheet, I literally got done with the 5th edition character sheet, looked over at my friend and said, okay, so where's the rest of it? And they were like, that's it.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, what do you mean that's it? He's like, that's it. I'm like, no, there's no way that was it. Like, this is not a character sheet. This is a, like, menu at Denny's at best.
So you clearly get like I actually am a fan of 5th edition. I'm not gonna lie. But like I can understand looking at it and being like it was very different out the gate, right?
Hmm. So my problems with 5th edition actually that was my first reaction to 5th edition, and I got used to it afterwards. I was like, okay, well, making a character really easy, that's not really a bad issue. You know, I can kind of look past that. Especially when you compare it to like Pathfinder 2e and how easy it is to make a character through there, it's like, okay, I see a lot of 5th inspiration here. My
Yeah.
problem lies with other areas of 5th edition that have serious issues. But that's gonna be like its own.
Yeah, it's its own thing. Like I'm not about to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I'm
do
not.
want, I don't want 5th edition being bragged on here necessarily.
Right.
And the thing is, I think there's stuff to like and dislike about like basically
No,
everything. Unfortunately.
I think when it comes down to it, there's things to like and dislike about both systems. I just have more likes for one than I do the other. Is basically what it boils down to.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's definitely a preference.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I still run.
Go ahead.
I still run a 5th edition game on Sundays.
Yeah. I have never run 5th edition, but I like what's been done in it, and I'm not against it. The reason why I chose Pathfinder 2nd edition is because I honestly fell in love with certain parts of it, and I don't ever want to give those parts up. Like the 3-action combat system.
Oh my god, yes.
You will have that from me when you can pry it from my cold dead corpse. And even then, I may come back to life to fight you over it.
Right?
Like,
no, legitimately, I understand that.
It's very Todd Howard to me. It just works. What was I saying? But right, yes. Like, and I like the idea of like they have heritages and ancestries. I like the ideas of like crit fail, success, crit success. Like a lot of stuff in there makes a lot of sense to me. To take away the notes. Get that very experimentally winding down. Create burgers look so good.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things in 2nd edition that I can rant for days about everything that I love about 2nd edition.
And then it has stuff in there that I'm just like, and the crunching of the gold economy. Like, I love all that stuff. And then And then it has things like the removal of skill points, which I'm less a fan of. It has things like the replacement of like class stuff through feats, which I'm mixed on. I think it has some huge advantages, and I also really think the way they presented it makes it very difficult to grok too.
I think that once it's in like actual play, you're going to see some stuff. Hold on a second. I'm gonna find out what just happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll pop back into Borderlands Tuesdays here in just a second.
Oh yeah. I don't
I'm
worry
trying
about
to
it.
figure out.
Like you take care of yourself. I think we're basically done, right, Kraylin?
I think so. I think so. I
Yeah,
did a
I
good
think these are
online,
great.
and yours
Yeah.
is looking really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours is nice, and mine is like, ooh, your thing inspired me to try and get like some really good
Yours a
colors
lot.
there.
Like, you got colors, you got some shades, you got
Oh
great
yeah.
codes.
So yeah, I think this is everything. Mo, thank you for joining us, however briefly.
Of course.
A wonderful thank you uh, to all of my experiencers and hivelings who joined me today for this encounter. Let's go find someone to raid. Who's around?
I was gonna say you could raid me, but unfortunately, it looks like I may be at the end of my session myself.
Okay, well I wish you were still going so we could get raided by you. Always down for a good raid from you.
Well, I can actually before you raid, I could raid you if you my 2 viewers.
Do you want to
Yeah.
chain a raid onto Roddy? It's been a... You raid Roddy recently?
I don't think so.
Let's-
Do you want to both raid Roddy, or do you want me to raid to you and then
let's
raid
both
Roddy?
raid Roddy. Alright, everyone, we're gonna go
Alright.
raid a friend of mine. Roddy...
Hey guys, we're gonna raid Roddy Zombie. I'm sorry, I like muted myself when I said that.
Alright. Mr. MG, Mode, Mothy, Irabu, thank you so much all for being here. I think I'm forgetting a couple of you. I'm so sorry, it's been a little while. All of my love to you. Take care of yourselves. Go over to Roddy's, tell him a big hi. One last stretch. Oh, that's my back!
Alright guys, same thing. Go say
guys
hi to
raid that.
Roddy, give him lots of support.
Mhm.
What you gotta do, guys.
All my love to you, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday for more Darkest of Dungeons. There will be a Twitter request going out tomorrow. You can submit your build ideas there. I will try to construct them and use them and die horribly with them. So, until that time, take care, everyone. All of my love. Good night.